Hey, welcome back to my channel. I've been spending a lot of time with these two cameras, the all-new Mission 1 Pro and the GoPro Hero 13 over the last 2 weeks since I picked up the Mission 1. And I've put a lot of time into batteries specifically. So by the end of this video, you're going to know everything there is to know about the two different batteries here. Now, I ran a whole bunch of tests, but before we get into those tests, I just want to talk about the differences in the batteries. So the Enduro 2 is 250 milliamps bigger than the Enduro 1. It's 2150 versus 1900 with the Enduro 1. The price, GoPro is listing them at the same. I believe it's around $35 Canadian on their website for a battery. But where they got me was I ordered the charging hub for the Mission 1, and I only got one battery with it, and I didn't realize that you only get one battery with it, because when I purchased the Enduro 1 back in the day, you get two batteries with it. So they're the same price, but you get only one battery with the Mission 1 or the Enduro 2 batteries, and you get two batteries with the Enduro 1 or the batteries for the Hero 13. So the first test I ran was with the Hero 13 and that 30 frames per second at 4K. And with the Enduro 1 battery, it gave me a time of 1 hour and 42 minutes, and we got 1 hour and 56 minutes with the Enduro 2 inside the Hero 13. So that gave us about 15 minutes more, or right around 13% more battery. The next test I ran with the Hero 13 was 4K at 60 frames per second. And here we got about 23% more juice out of the Enduro 2 inside the Hero 13. My time was 1 hour and 31 minutes with the Enduro 2 versus 1 hour and 13 minutes. So an extra 17 minutes there. That's pretty good for 60K. Like I say, 23-24%, somewhere in that neighborhood. And the last test that I ran with it was a time-lapse test. And with the time-lapse test, we were able to pull 2 hours and 47 minutes with the Enduro 1 or 3 hours and 8 minutes with the Enduro 2. So an extra 21 minutes with the Enduro 2 or another 12.6%. Now here's where it gets a little bit interesting. I ran the 30 frame per second 4K with the Mission 1 Pro with the old battery, the Enduro 1 battery, and I actually got a worse time with the new battery. So with the old battery in the Mission 1, I got 2 hours and 57 minutes, and with the new battery, 2 hours and 40 minutes. So we lost about 16% or about 10 minutes off of the time by using the new battery, which really doesn't make any sense to me at all. But I did run that test twice, and I did get very similar results both times. Now, when we bumped it up to 60 frames per second, the Mission 1 Pro did better with its Enduro 2 battery, lasting 2 hours and 4 minutes over the Enduro 1's hour and 53 minutes. So in 4K 60, the Mission 1 was about 10% better off with the Enduro 2 over the Enduro 1. And finally, we get the hyperlapse, and I just love how long the hyperlapse lasts with these new batteries and the old batteries in the Mission 1. So the hyperlapse with the Mission 1 with the Enduro 2 batteries was, I think, 4 hours and 58 minutes. I'm posting all the times here on the sides because I might be misremembering some of them. But 4 hours, just shy of 5 hours for the Enduro 2 and the Mission 1 Pro, and 4 hours and 26 minutes we got using the old battery, the Enduro 1 inside the Mission 1 Pro. So that just shows that these older Enduro 1 batteries are going an awful long way with the Mission 1. So absolutely no reason to discard these. If you're selling off your Hero 13, I would hold on to them. But then we have charging. Now, charging has always been a pain, especially with the old Hero 13. Now, in order to get this all right, I'm using this charger. It's this one's a U-Green charger. It's a 160 watt charger, and it's got a whole bunch of ports in it. What it does is it'll light up and it'll tell you the wattage that it's putting out and whether or not it's fast charging and all that. But the big problem I've been having is with cords. I've picked up these new cords from Silkland, I think was the name of the brand, off of Amazon. And what's very special about these cords is that they say right on them the wattage and the megabytes per second. So you get your data transfer speed and your wattage, because I have a whole friggin' box full of cables that are good for nothing because I don't know what wattage they are, and sometimes it takes forever to, it's a mess. It should be a crime to not have these cords labeled as to what they hold. So for charging, we're going to go by the charger. So we're using the Enduro 1 charger, or the one for the HERO13, and the Enduro 1 batteries. So when I was charging with this setup, I was pulling 20 watts on this, and it took exactly 2 hours to load up the 2 batteries. Now I timed everything with the Pocket 3. I was running a 5-second time lapse, so I was able to calculate when the lights got full, and then I didn't have to be there and watch it all. So that was pretty special. What was interesting was with the Enduro 2s and that same Enduro 1 charger, it was showing me that it was pulling 18 watts. However, they charged in an hour and 40 minutes, so 20 minutes quicker than the Enduro 1s. Now, if we run those Enduro 2s through the Enduro 2 charger, I was pulling 28 watts and it gave me a time of an hour and 35 minutes. So it was only like 5 minutes faster with this charger than it was with the old charger. And when I put the Enduro 1 batteries from the HERO13 into the Enduro 2 charger, I got a time of 2 hours and 5 minutes, and it was giving me 18 watts. So slightly slower. I also played with the internal charging with these two as well. So with the Mission 1 Pro, I was able to pull 25 watts, and it took 47 minutes to fill up the Enduro 2 battery, and it was 1 hour and 7 minutes pulling 7 watts with the Enduro 1 battery. So the HERO13 battery in the Mission 1 was 1 hour and 7 minutes versus the 47 minutes with the Enduro 2 in the Mission 1, which is actually faster than running 2 into this charger. So that's pretty cool. Now running the Enduro 1, the HERO13 battery in the HERO13, it was 1 hour and 12 minutes. So just a few minutes longer than what the Mission 1 would charge it in. And it was 1 hour and 38 minutes to charge this Mission 1 Pro, the Enduro 2 battery in the HERO13. Now, it's absolutely fantastic that GoPro made these batteries the same size and that they work so well together. It's up to you whether or not you want to cheap out if you don't have a charger and pick up the Enduro 1 charger and 2 of those batteries versus the Enduro 2. From my testing, it looks like we'll get about 10 or 12% more juice out of these newer batteries with the Mission 1 Pro, and the charging time is 25% faster, I guess. I didn't calculate that quite properly, but 1 hour and 35 minutes versus 2 hours and or so. So those are the numbers. I know it wasn't too much of an exciting video, but I just wanted to share all of my findings because I think it's pretty cool that we can get 10% less out of these old batteries and 25% less charging time out of the new batteries. And it's probably worth it to some people to pick up the dual charger with 2 batteries and lose that little bit of time versus getting screwed out of that 1 battery on this sucker. Geez, you know, I didn't even notice. I just assumed it would come with 2. I'm the Jaunting Ape. I hope you learned something out of this one. Keep on jaunting and the world is yours, my friends.